All right. So, hello. First question I have to ask is,
Yes.
what is your name or online name, whichever you prefer?
Well, my online name is Papa Zillion. My real name is Barry.
I like that name.
Thank you.
Um, so the next question is a bit for in case people like you. Is there a place people can come and talk to you? And if so, where?
Definitely. The easiest way to get in touch with me is through my Twitch page, which is twitch.tv/Papa Zillion. I got a couple of links up there which link through to my Discord and whatnot, but that's the main place where you can find me.
Cool. And if they have trouble, they can always come to me and ask. Um,
Absolutely.
so this question was more faced towards you, Papa. Um, where do you live, country-wise, and what do you think it's like living there compared to like the United States?
Well, I live in the Netherlands, which is one of the smaller countries of Europe. Not the smallest, but one of the smaller ones. We only have 17 and a bit million people living here, so small country. Compared to the United States, I mean, I've been to the States a couple of times, and I mean, obviously, there's cultural differences. We're both part of the Western world, as you will. But of course, there's cultural differences. But there's so much more. Like America is very, very big. They have a huge economy. They got a lot of things going on. Like if you see a movie, it's 9 times out of 10 it's produced in Hollywood, so it's in America. Products that we use around the world, like Google as a search engine, Windows as an operating system. It's all American. And if you look at the Netherlands, and you ask anyone like, "Hey, so what do you know about the Netherlands?" Sometimes you get like, "Yeah, Amsterdam and cheese." I think, but that's really about it, you know. So that's one thing. Like not a lot of people. Everyone knows the Netherlands. Not everyone knows a lot about it. So that's definitely a difference. Other than that, I believe the Dutch are perceived as being very thrifty. I believe that's a thing that we're often called. I'm not sure if that's still the case, but that's what I heard. I'm not so sure if it's true, but that's a thing. Uh, I don't know if you have any other specifics, but yeah, I mean, obviously there's differences because there's two different countries. Language, of course, we do
Yeah,
speak English over here sometimes, but our main language is Dutch, of course, which is wholly different than English.
I know. You have talked to Drunk, which I've also interviewed. About how bikes are a big part of your transport.
Yes,
How is it so big? Like, is it?
I've honestly I don't know why it's that way. I mean, I have a guess, which ties in with the fact that we're thrifty because the bike is free, right? So I mean, you have to buy the bike, but like you don't need any gas or whatever. You can just pedal around. Um, And one of the reasons why it is popular over here is it is relatively cheap, and the Netherlands is a very flat country. We have zero mountains. We have a bit of a hill somewhere in the south of the country, close to the Belgian border. We're very proud of it, and we even call it a mountain, even though it's really just a hill. And the rest of the country is just flat. Most of it is even under sea level, but it's like we have almost no hills. There's no elevation in the land whatsoever. So biking around is relatively easy because it's all just straight ahead and flat.
Yeah,
Um, and because of that, it's integrated in our culture. Like you learn to ride a bicycle from a very early age. You see children aged 4 and 5 on the bicycle already over here. And fun fact is that we actually have more bikes in the Netherlands than we have people.
wow, that's really neat.
Yeah,
Um,
you'll see if you'd ever come to the Netherlands and you go to any of the big like central stations, like the one in Amsterdam or whatever, they have a special parking lot for bicycles, and it's huge. It's about the size of your average, let's say, Walmart parking space, but then full of bikes.
I'd love to see that.
It's fun.
Um, so the next question I have for you is, I don't know what the weather is like in the Netherlands, but what is your opinion of snow?
Well, we have snow over here. Lately, the last couple of years, it's less and less because global warming and all that. But the weather is roughly comparable to what you would expect in England. We have slightly less rain, but it's still roughly comparable. We have a lot of rain over here. I think it's about 50-50 rain and sunshine days over here. with cold winters and relatively humid, warm summers. Not hot, but it's definitely warm. Um, in the winter, usually in the months of January and February, we get a little snow. Back, say, 30 to 40 years ago, we actually got like a lot of it. Now, these years, I mean, we get a little snow and that's it, but it doesn't like stick around. Like what you have in New York at the moment, where there's like a foot of snow. That's been years since we've had that.
Yeah, that's
And my personal
crazy.
opinion on it, on like if I whether or not I like it. I mean, I'm used to it, and personally, I prefer cold weather to hot because you can dress for cold weather. So I mean, it's all, of course, it's what you're used to. But I like cold weather.
Yeah, it's crazy how there's different things that happen between where you live and what you're seeing at the moment in someone else's perspective.
Oh yeah, we have that. Like Australia is the polar opposite side of the globe for us, right? And I've always loved the fact that they basically celebrate Christmas under a palm tree, right? You know, figuratively
Yeah,
speaking. They have summer right now over there. That's just weird that you can walk around there in shorts. It's December, you know.
yeah. Um, and so one, we have three questions left. The first one being, is there something about yourself that you would like to work on? Like maybe you think you're too self-conscious?
That's a very your timing couldn't have been better on this question actually. I don't know if I've shared this with you, but I am currently in a burnout, and I don't know if you know what a burnout is. But in essence, it is that you're basically overstressed too much for too long a period, which has a detrimental mental effect on you. Unfortunately, that means that you have to like take a break from work and everything. Now, luckily, the Netherlands is very kind to you. Like whenever that happens to you, we got a lot of laws in place, so you're safe for your what your job concerns. So you can take some time and work on yourself. So that's what I've been doing over the last couple of months because I had a burnout because of my work and a couple of personal circumstances. So that was a thing that I wanted to work on. And usually, the basis for a burnout is something like that you are too much of a perfectionist in work, or that you care too deeply about something. Like you really make it like something's too personal, and that stresses you out too much. And that's what happened with me. I'm very much a perfectionist with a lot of things. So work is definitely one of them. That's one of the things I want to work on. I'm already working on, of course, but that is something that will take a little longer than just a couple of months. Um,
Yeah.
so that will be the first thing that comes to mind.
All right. That's let me know if you need any help with that.
Of course.
Um the next thing is, what motivates you to stream?
Um, it's a couple of things actually. I started streaming because I saw it. I saw Twitch, and I was like, huh, "That's funny. I think I can do that too." And not in a like that's easy. I can do that too kind of way. But I love entertaining people. I love making people laugh. Outside of Twitch, I'm the guy that tells the jokes at the office, right? I'm that guy.
Yeah.
And Twitch is just an extension of that. I love just creating an environment, a community where people can come to and have a laugh and have a like just relax, because that's really what I want to do on Twitch. Some people stream because they're very good at something, or because they are trying to sell something or something like that, right? I don't do any of that because I'm not particularly good at any game or whatever. I just enjoy creating an environment where people can come into and just take a load off and be like, ah, pleasant. That's what I want to bring. Um, and I think I think that's the whole reason why I like to stream. And it's also the reason why I started, because that is something I saw was available on Twitch, but there weren't a lot of people focusing on that. It was either you were very good at something, or you were sort of trying to sell something, and that in between was I missed that. And it's by the way, that's the reason why I named myself Papa Zillion, because before that my username was just Zillion, which I've had since I was like 12. And I was like, I need to brand myself. I need to do something that sort of fits with the general theme that I'm trying to get across. And that's where the word Papa came from, because I was like, well, I have like dad level gaming skills. I love dad jokes. Uh, Daddy is not a smart name to use online. So
No.
let's go with Papa.
No, that's not a smart name. Um, that's cool though. I don't think I knew that about you, so I liked hearing that. Hey there, how's it going? So, first question I have for you is what is your name or online name, whichever you prefer.
Daniel is my real name. Drunkrat is my
Hey
online
there,
persona.
how's it going? So, first question I have for you is what is your name or online name, whichever you prefer.
Typically, Discord is the best place to get in contact with me through either DMs or notifying me with a mention in the hideout. Those are the places I check most frequently. There's other places. Twitter is an option. I typically don't check many social medias outside of Discord frequently. So I would say Discord.
Hey there, how's it going? So, first question I have for you is what is your name or online name, whichever you prefer.
Mm-hmm.
Hey there, how's it going? So, first question I have for you is what is your name or
It doesn't cross my mind all that much, so it's not much on. I don't have much of an opinion. I have been up to the area several times when there was snow for either skiing or just visiting relatives, and I very much enjoy snow, because I don't have to live in it year round. So as a point of interest, I enjoy visiting places with snow, but I can understand how it would be complicated to live in as a condition.
Hey there, how's it going? So, first question I have for you.
That's a good question, actually. I'm not sure how you came into either you came into contact with this community or I was in another stream or something. The pro, the primary mode of meeting most of the people in my circle of friends comes from them coming into my community via either stream or another community that I'm associated to. I'm not sure how I met you specifically. Okay, maybe so, yeah. Through a mutual friend then, yeah. So through a mutual friend would be the answer for that.
Hey there, how's it going? So, first question I have for you is what is your name or online name, whichever you prefer.
Yeah. Um, several things. Uh, 3 things come to mind. I'll give a brief mention of all 3, and then I'll talk about the one I really wanna work on. One is my physical, uh I guess, state of being relatively overweight. I would prefer it if I know how to become less overweight. I know how to achieve that. I know what diet I can use. I've used it before. It's been very effective for me. But I can't. It's very um. It is a strain to be disciplined enough to make that leap, and I haven't achieved that recently. Another thing I would like to fix is my attention span. Essentially, my capability of it's actually this is something I don't want to work on because I believe that it actually gives me more advantages than it gives me detriments. It's attention span and memory. So I have a very poor short term memory. I used to have a very strong one, but I over time I changed my perspective as how I wanted to live. My priorities being more focused on the now and what's going on and people uh, transferring of energy in the moment rather than uh, maintaining attention and focus and committing things to memory. Um, I've become a much happier person as a result, as well as been able to maintain a more broad spectrum connection with more people at once, meaning it helps me greatly as an entertainer. However, it also does lead to very shallow interactions with most people. If I'm not talking to them one on one, it I don't commit most of the conversation to memory, and therefore it's not a very substantial relationship. Um, the last thing that I do want to that I do want to work on a lot more is my tendency to to be very controlling. I have made leaps in this. I was once a very um controlling and obsessive person, to the point where didn't I wasn't able to make many friends because I was uncomfortable with not knowing how a relationship would develop, or not knowing how someone would react to things I said. So I wanted to fully control every aspect of my life. Uh, over time, I've found that in order to achieve a lack of control that makes me into a more happy person, I've willfully removed authority from my own life. And by that, I mean, I've created a community and the infrastructure for a community, but I try to maintain a very hands-off approach in terms of if something needs to be policed or maintained, I leave that to the hands of people who are moderators, people who I appoint as those in control of the uh, community. Uh, so the less authority that I allow myself to have, the less compelled I feel to control things. And so I purposefully take authority out of my own hands to avoid that negative aspect of my life. That's how I'm working on it. There's probably better ways.
Um, so people have been hearing you call your community and mention streams. What motivates you to do your streams?
I have 2 primary motivations, I would say. One is very superficial and something that drives me from day to day, and the other is something that drives me in a more long-term sense. I believe that people need multiple motivations, otherwise it's easy to lose sight of things. If you only have one long-term goal, it's easy to lose sight of that goal, or to lose that motivation in the daily toil and trouble. And if you only have short-term motivation, it's easy to become off, get off track and not really sort of meander from goal to goal. Um, my short-term goal is something that I discovered about myself when I was around 24, 25 years old. I think I've always liked to make people laugh, and I've always liked to get attention. I've always enjoyed being the center of attention. But I had a point in my life where I found that I truly felt a fulfillment, I feel like I matter, if that makes any sense. I feel like I have purpose. When when I'm making someone laugh, when I'm making someone enjoy themselves. And it is a bit of a selfish thing in that I want to know that someone feels good. So like making recorded videos and doing entertainment in that way, it's hard to do because there's no direct feedback, but streaming, I can actually talk to the people who I'm entertaining directly, and they can talk about how this community is something that is a positive thing in their life, and being in the stream makes people happy, and that to me is the height of that gives me the most feeling of purpose that I've ever gotten.
Yeah, that
Um,
makes sense.
so that's my short-term goal kind of drive. My long-term goal kind of drive is I do have the dream. Everyone who streams, I assume, has the dream of eventually getting to a point where they're able to entertain for a living. So the amount of they're able to get support, financial support from either a I don't really want it to be this way, but donations, that's one option, or B, more preferably, sponsorships and advertisements, stuff like that. Things that are not hurting anybody in terms of money uh, issues. But I would like to get to a point where I can focus all of my energy on entertainment, meaning during the day I can work on creating larger scale content for people, and at the nights I can actually do my live streams, which I can interact with people. As it stands right now, I can only do the live streams, which leads to it being a fun moment in time, but I can't create anything more lasting or more impactful than just in that moment. So
Yeah,
that's my long-term goals.
I like that. Um,
Oh,
so I just wanted to know, what is something that someone told you that you'll kind of like r- always remember them saying and will make a big impact on, or has made a big impact on your life?
that could be a lot of things. Probably the thing that has changed my life the most would be something that completely altered my perception of how essentially how I view my own happiness, how I view my life, and it almost changed me from one person into a whole different person. The core stuff is still there, but my goals, my outlooks all shifted. I don't know. I'm gonna alter what you asked slightly.
All
Rather
right.
than something someone said that I remember, I have a phrase that I use a lot that I got from a key experience. One of my cousins invited me to a bachelor party in another country where we just flew. Like he was a pilot, so we were able to fly relatively cheap to a an island, Saint Martin, and we stayed there for a couple of days. It was just me, him, and his friend. It was supposed to be more people, but it was just us three at the end. And it was a spontaneous trip. Up until that point, I had been a very analytical, very controlling person, and I didn't like doing things on a whim or spontaneously. I liked to plan things out way ahead of time. That moment, that trip. I had so much fun. I enjoyed myself so much without knowing where the world would take me, without knowing what was going to happen. I could have had trouble, could have had problems, but we did have a couple problems, but we were able to overcome them. And what I learned from that was this is what the takeaway: hope for the best, but plan for the worst. And but what that means, so essentially, hope for the best, but expect the worst. So how I live my life now is I try to understand the worst outcome of anything that I'm going to do and expect that that will happen, plan to be able to handle that, but hope for the best possible outcome. So don't let the idea of failure deter me from trying something. Be able to handle the failure, but hope for the success.
Yeah,
So
that makes sense.
expect failure, hope for success is sort of very very small, quick version of that.
Yeah.
It has led me to being a lot less planning, a lot more spontaneous, and a lot more, I think, um, energetic.
Yeah. That all makes sense. I thank you for letting me interview you for this project.
Yeah, definitely.
And I know how much you don't like uh the promoting yourself, but if any of my classmates or even my teacher for whatever reason want to go and talk to Drunk Rat, feel free to go to twitch.tv/drunkrat. He streams almost every night, I believe, right?
Yeah, 5 times a week.
Yeah. So, almost every night, so feel free to pop by. I really enjoy his community, and his community means a lot to me.
And don't let the name fool you, I'm not nearly that civilized.
Uh, anyways, thank you again for helping me with this.
I really appreciate it. This was fun.
Alright, hey there, Minnie. I'm now recording. So,
Yeah.
my name is Brian. Um, I'm doing an interview with someone who can share their name in a minute if they would like. Um, and this is for Story Corps.
Mhm.
So the first question I have for you is, what is your name, or online name, whichever you really prefer.
I'm gonna go with online name, and that is Minnie.
Cool. So Minnie, if there was a place that people could reach out and talk to you, where do you think that would be?
Place for people to reach out and talk to me.
Yeah.
I'd say Discord, 'cause that's where I'm most active.
Cool, cool. So this one, if you don't feel like sharing, is okay, because I know that it can be somewhat personal. Um, what country or state do you live in, and what is it like living there?
Country, I can definitely say that. America, US of A. And state, I'm fine with saying, honestly, Arizona.
Cool. What's it like compared to like northern New England?
I'd definitely say it's warmer than that place you just mentioned. Definitely warmer. Less snow. Trying to think of other stuff. Definitely less water.
Cool.
Issue aside from that, to be honest.
So, next question. What is your opinion of snow?
It's fun to play with, but it's also very cold.
It is very cold, Minnie. You are not wrong.
I am not fun.
So the next question is, how do you know me?
We met on Discord when you were a part of Gizzy's acting team.
Could you elaborate? Like, who is Gizzy and like?
He's a YouTuber, posts videos on YouTube. We met about a little over a year ago in an event where his acting team got to participate, and from there we met a lot of other friends. Eventually, he did get kicked out for reasons I'm not going to specify, but it's fine though because we're still friends and all that stuff.
Cool. So, Minnie, is there something about yourself that you would like to work on?
Like what?
Just generally, like something like, oh, I feel like I talk too much or interrupt too much or whatever.
I'm trying to think about that. I want to say I procrastinate too much.
You know, I feel like a lot of people do, Minnie. I do.
Well, yeah, it's a very common disease, procrastination.
Yes, very common disease. One of the last question. Is there something someone told you or said or did to you or whatever that you'll kind of keep by your side for the rest of your life that changed your life?
Something someone told me that I'll keep by my side for the rest of my life. Mhm. Now, is that like a secret someone told me that I'm taking to my grave or something like that, or it's like
No,
something
just
inspired me, or
something someone said or did for you. And that meant so much to you that you never want to forget it.
hmm. Someone said or did to with me that I never want to forget. Not that I can think of at the moment.
Alright, that's okay.
So if I can't think of it at the moment, it's probably something I already forgot, meaning it does not apply to this.
Yeah.
If I can't think of it at the moment, I've already forgotten it. So it's not something I'm never
Yeah.
gonna forget.
Yeah. So I thank you, Minnie, for letting me interview you today. It was a real pleasure, and you're always fun to hang out with. So,
Oh, of course, same to you.
you want to hang out later today?
I'd be fine with that, honestly.
Cool. I will talk to you later today after I finish up school, and thank you
Okay.
again for letting me interview you.
Mm-hmm.
Bye.
How did you know?
Hello.
Hello.
This is an interview that I'm doing for my story corps class. So first question, simple one. What is your name or online name, whichever you prefer?
Well, my name is Tommy, and I go by Tomfoolery online. I'm a weird guy, and a synonym for weirdness or goofiness is tomfoolery. So I guess that name just kind of combines itself, doesn't
I guess it does.
it?
So the next question is there a place, if people seem interested in your personality, that people could come and talk to you? And if so, where?
They could come on to the Discord channel, and if they just want to talk to me, I can talk in a voice channel on there, or they can hop onto my stream at twitch.tv T0MFOOLERY underscore twitch.tv/tomfoolery.
Cool.
So they can talk to me on stream, or they can talk to me in Discord.
Yeah. So now we're gonna get into the more complicated questions. Kind of gets more complicated as we go along. Where do you live? Country or state? In your case, state. And what is it like living there compared to like the northeast of America?
I live in Indiana. Indiana, it kind of depends on where on Indiana you're living in. I live down in southern Indiana, right around where Indiana University is at, around that area. And the weather is the only way I can describe Indiana's weather is bipolar. It cannot decide what it wants to be. I this is, and I'm not exaggerating in this story here. I was at a wrestling tournament once. Crap, I can't. I think it was Newcastle. I think that was where I was at. Um, and so they called me down to my map, not my map, my mat. And so I looked out the window. Is just white out blizzard outside. I go down, pin my guy, come back up, and it's pouring down rain next. So I grab something to eat. I check out back outside the window. Now it's springtime. It's like, what the hell what's going on? What the heck just happened?
This
I don't
sounds like it was
understand.
an entertaining day, to say the least.
This was in the matter of 15 minutes.
That's
I don't know
actually
what
kind
the
of
heck
funny.
happened.
Um,
That's Indiana's weather in a nutshell. I hear Ohio is pretty similar. If you get into northern Indiana, it snows a lot though. It
yeah.
snows a lot in northern Indiana.
Next question. That actually leads quite well into it. What is your opinion of snow?
My opinion of what?
Snow.
Like the word no?
No. SNOW.
Oh, snow. I mean, I love snow. I just hate the cold.
I can
Snow
understand that.
Snow is very beautiful and nice to look at, unless you're driving on it or you're cleaning it off your car. If it's car related, then no, it's a pain in the butt.
Next question is, how do you know me? So like, where did we meet and how?
I believe that was on Drunk Rat stream.
I believe it was too.
I think that's where we first met, and then we just kind of started hanging out from there.
Yeah,
Hopped onto one of my streams one time after he shouted me out, or I think he probably raided me. And we just kind of got along after that.
yeah. I can. I'm pretty sure that's how that went. Um, this next question, I kind of wrote to face to be like for you, and is there something about yourself that you'd like to work on? So like a personality trait, or maybe something you just do but don't want to do.
Like how I am with people. Not like how I'm not saying like I'm like a disrespectful or um I'm just like a jerk or anything. But it's like I guess you could say it's like I'm not good at interacting with people.
Yeah,
It's like it's like I can be it's like I'm generally like I would hope people think I'm generally a polite person and generally respectful to other people. It's just that I'm just like when it comes to like going out of my way to actually interact with people, it's not something that I care to do, I guess.
yeah,
It's
that
not
makes
something that
sense.
I would normally put myself out to do. I guess it's like by that definition that would kind of make me an introvert, but my personality says extrovert. It's like I'm like, hey, I'm excited, awesome. I'm excited, I'm ready to go. And it's like, and I was like, oh, hey, other people, hi, how you doing?
I
Yeah, I'm
feel
just
that. Yeah, I think I
yeah.
can be the same way.
I usually like to keep to myself, I guess.
Yeah. The next question is what motivates you to do your streaming? Streams. Weird English is hard.
Just excuse me, just ate bleh, bad Taco Bell. Oh, there we go. Get that out of my system. Um, what motivates me to do the streams is basically just being able to entertain people. It's something I've always enjoyed doing, whether it be just through doing goofy voices with my friends or just like whenever it's like this is going to guess what I was saying about going out there and putting myself around other people in general is just like it's like being a wrestler and all. It's like it's always on wrestling teams and everything. So those guys were like just in general my friends. So it's like just hanging out with them is like I always like to be the guy that entertained everyone,
Yeah.
do jokes and goofy voices and so I used to be able to break dance pretty well, and like people are like, "Oh wow, that's so cool." Is like I'm also hyper flexible, so I could do like weird body tricks and stuff. Like, "Oh wow, I can't believe you can do that." Like, I
Yeah.
always liked being that guy that was like entertaining, and people were like, "Hey, he can do all these cool things," and it's like,
Yeah.
"Hey," and people are like, "Hey, can you do this voice? Can you do this voice?" Like, yeah, I can do that voice. And it's like, why don't I put myself on stream for people to be able to just come in and just hang out and have fun and they oh hey can you do this voice they spend their stream currency to do a voice request. I like to keep that relatively cheap on the stream currency, that way it's like it's readily available and easy to request.
Unless you're me and you have a spending habit.
Unless you want to be that guy that purchases Zawado over and over. Yeah, I made that one expensive just for that reason. It's like, meanwhile, you got someone on the stream that's had like 50K points. They're like, yeah, they can purchase that 5 times. It's like, yes, freeze me in place for 9 seconds, 18 seconds, 20, 27 seconds. Good God, no.
Alright. Moving on to the next question. What is something that someone told you that you'll kind of keep with you for the rest of your life?
Something that someone told me that I keep with me for the rest of my
Yeah,
life.
maybe they told you or did something for you that kind of meant a lot to you.
It's not exactly something that someone has told me, like personally, but it's more of something that I got from a show. It's one of my favorite quotes from
All
my
right.
favorite show, Avatar: The Last Airbender. You know,
Yeah.
Iroh, he's got all those quotes.
Yeah.
He's got a lot of quotes. But my favorite one is sometimes life is like a dark tunnel. You might not always see the light at the end of the tunnel, but as long as you keep moving forward, you will come to a better place.
I like that.
Yeah, that's my favorite quote.
Yeah.
And it's just that mentality that I've always had my entire life. It's like, oh my gosh, you put it into words. It's just that kind of mentality that I have. Is like I don't care what other people say about me. It's like I'm myself. I'm going to keep pushing forward. I'm going to do what I need to do, and I'm going to get it done. And that's like um some of the struggles that I've had to deal with growing up with autism is that I've it's like I was when growing up I was very successful in wrestling. And a lot I've had haters. It's like when you're successful, people are going to hate you
Yeah.
for being successful. And I've had people that they were close to me, and then it's like things change, and they're getting on me about it's like, oh, he's never going to amount to anything. Oh, he's never going to get anywhere in life. Blah blah blah. It's like, oh, he has autism. And he's not going to be as good as this as anyone else. It's like, well, here, how about I freaking make you shut up, sit down, and watch.
Yeah.
And it's like I won 2 state titles at the same weight class. I didn't cut weight for either of those years, which is kind of a big thing in wrestling. You cut weight to get down to a lower weight class to try and increase your chances of winning, I guess. But my junior and senior year, I didn't cut weight at all. I wrestled 138. Excuse me. Burping again. My senior year, I pinned all of my opponents in the state finals match, all 4 rounds. In
Yeah.
the state finals tournament, I mean, not the match, but the finals match. Yeah, I pinned that guy too.
Yeah, that's really cool.
And then I went on to wrestle for Indiana University. I was on varsity for a year.
That's really cool.
And then I had to drop out because I was getting health issues due to just massive amounts of stress.
Yeah.
It's like college was putting so much stress on me. I was getting heart murmurs and stuff like that, so I had to stop. Had to just get out of there.
You just gotta keep yourself healthy. All right.
Well,
Anyways.
I mean, it's like,
Oh, go ahead.
I mean, just the issue was that the freaking coaches were just terrible people, and then they were just
Yeah.
overworking the entire team, and then on top of that, you have freaking school, and you know how school is. They don't care if
Yeah.
you got extracurricular activities, and they just pile on all this work, and it just eventually gets to the point where he's like, "Oh, I have all these expectations placed upon me," and it's like I didn't even realize how stressed I was. That's also like kind of a thing of autism. Like I don't realize things about myself. It's just my body's reaction to it. It's like it's just my subconscious. I'm not even thinking about how stressed I am. I don't realize that I'm stressed. My body is just shutting itself down, trying to get me to stop.
Yeah. Anyways,
Uh,
so why don't you plug yourself one more time? You plugged yourself at the beginning of the interview. Now you can plug yourself at the end.
All right. Well, I'm streaming every day around 4:30 ish. So I usually try to start at 4:30, but sometimes you got things that go on in life. So between 4:30 and 7, depending on what days. On sevens, that's usually Tuesdays and Thursdays because I'll usually be coaching at wrestling practice on Tuesdays and Thursdays, so that starts later. But normally my start time is about 4:30 Eastern Standard Time at twitch.tv/tomfoolery T0MFOOLERY_. It's like, yeah, I did have to make it that complicated because the actual name was already taken, unfortunately. So I had to make do with what I got. But anyway.
Thank you for
Yeah.
doing the interview with me, Tom. I really do appreciate it.
Yeah. Yeah. Sorry it took so long to get around to it. It's just our
That's
schedules
fine.
being
It
all
was
over the
my fault.
place.
It was my fault, honestly.
Eh, it's okay. It's okay though. It's like it's part of it was also my fault.
Yeah. Alright. I'll see you later, Tom.
I'll catch you later, bud.
This call is being recorded for quality assurance.
Exactly. Alright. So, hello there, classmates, fellow friends, things and stuff. First question, Fizz, is what is your name or online name, whichever you prefer?
My name is Jordan Baker, but online I go by the name Fizz.
Cool. Second question, also quite a simple one, is there a place people can come and talk to you? And if so, where?
Absolutely. I'm available 24/7 on all social media platforms. I've got Twitter, Discord, Instagram, you name it, I have it.
Cool. Obviously, if anyone in my class wants any of that, they can ask me and I will get it to them. So the third question, it's in the medium range. What state do you live in, and what is it like living there compared to like New Hampshire?
M- I live in Washington State. I don't really know much about New Hampshire. But typically a day, at least in my area of Washington, is the weather can be super bipolar. So sometimes it'll be really warm, and then like an hour later it'll be cold and rainy. Um, People usually associate Seattle to Washington, so that's basically the best example of what it's like living there. It's basically the same clear across the state.
All right,
It yeah, it really depends on the day.
all right, cool. Um, the next question is, what is your opinion on snow, as in SNOW, not no?
My opinion on snow.
Yeah.
I hate snow. I think that snow is what the worst weather to have. It's cold, it's wet, and it sticks. It's not fun. Plus, it can get slick, and I don't like falling.
You've got a good point. A good few points. Alright. Um, so the next question is, how did you meet me and where?
I met you through Silent Wrath's streams, I believe, is at least where I first like heard of you, and then we sort of just started talking and started playing games together. So really, it was through Twitch, I would say. The
Yeah, that
site.
sounds about right.
Yeah.
Um, so the next few are really the big questions I have. Is there something about yourself that you would like to work on?
Oh, absolutely. I'm a huge food junkie, and I need to work on when I'm hungry, going for the more healthier foods. I have a habit of sort of just picking up the junk food and snacking on it, or going to the nearest fast food place and getting food from there.
Yeah, that makes sense. Um, what the next question is, what motivates you to record and stream?
Honestly, I just love entertaining people. Uh, I started streaming because when I was doing my YouTube channel, I wasn't getting the interaction that I wanted to get. I usually feed off of people's conversations, and that's how I tend to entertain is through working with people. So when I started streaming, I was able to bounce my ideas and bounce everything off of chat, and then they'd be able to respond, and it's just a better interaction that way.
Yeah, that makes sense. Um, last and final question is the I'd say most personal question. What is something that someone told you that you'll kind of keep with you or did for you, that you'll just kind of keep with you for the rest of your life?
Did for me or told me?
Either or.
Either or. Okay. So I I watched this streamer by the name of FaZe Mew, and when I was watching his stream one day, he said that if you give up on what you dream, you don't want it enough. And that just sort of like stuck with me, that like if you ever like give up on whatever it is you want to do, whether it be like losing weight or trying to make a career, then it's not for you. You didn't want it enough. So you should really make sure that if that's what you want to do, you put your full effort into it and don't give up.
Yeah, that makes sense. That's really cool. That was the end of the questions. So I thank you, Faith, for answering the short amount of questions I had. And appreciate the fact that you would even answer them in the first place.
Yeah, no problem, man.
Um, if, like I said, if anyone in my class would like to talk to Fizz, just reach out to me via email, or if you have my number, you can text me, and I can 100% get you his social media. Hello. Potato.
Yes.
I am now recording, so the first question I would like to ask you is, what is your name or online name, whichever you prefer to share?
My online name is silent_wrath, aka Potato Sama.
Cool. Is there a place people can come and talk to you, and if so, where?
That would either be on the Twitch or the Discord. Twitch is the same as the name, silent_wrath, and you can get the Discord from there.
Cool. The third question I have for you is, what, or actually, I don't even need to ask you this, because you live in New Hampshire, too.
Mm-hmm.
So, the next question is, was...
Wait, hold on. I want to know the question.
It was, where do you, live, country or
Oh, it's the
state,
woods
and
above
was it like
Boston.
living there?
Shitty. You already know how it is.
Yeah. The next question is, what is your opinion of snow?
I hate it. It makes people drive like idiots, and then I get stuck behind those idiots.
I
on
actually,
the
I
other
don't feel
hand-
that, because I can't drive yet.
Cold, on the other hand, I would love it if it was negative 20 degrees year round.
Yeah, because you're crazy.
Well, no, hear me out. So here's why. Because when it's cold outside, you can always add on more layers. When it's hot, you can only take off so many until you need a vegetable peeler.
I guess that's true, but I still prefer the hot.
Crazy people.
Alright, the next question is, how did you meet me?
Through the streaming.
Yes, streaming of
Yes.
streams on
Yes.
Twitch. Next question. Now we're getting into the semi-hard questions. Is there something else, or something you would like to work on about yourself?
Oh, vast many amounts of things.
Anything in
The-
specific?
Yeah, the weight. Your boy Big Chungus.
I mean, that's fair. Next question is, what motivates you to record and stream stuff?
I mean, it's just it. I wouldn't say it motivate, but it's the exact same stuff that I'd be doing regardless of streaming or not. But people thought it was funny, so now I just record and stream.
I mean, you can't argue with that.
You can't. It's pretty straightforward. People said, "Hey, you should stream. It's pretty funny," and I went, "You know what? It's not wrong."
All right. What is something someone told you that you'll keep with you for the rest of your life? Told or did for you?
I don't know because my memory lasts me about a week. I don't remember what I had for breakfast last week. So unless it happened recently this week, I'm kind of out of idea.
There's nothing anyone's ever done for you or said to you that meant a lot to you.
Not that I can remember.
You have short-term memory.
Yes, and I have short-term memory loss, which is great.
All right. Well, thank you for answering the questions you could. I
I did
appreciate
my best.
I appreciate you letting me interview you. And
Very good.
I will see you later. Hey there, how's it going?
Hi.
So, first question I have for you is what is your name or online name, whichever you prefer.
My name is Nick, or I go by Pun or the Pun Hit Wonder. So either of those three will work for me.
All right. The next question is there a place people can come to talk to you, in my class, or whatever, whoever I may send this to, if they
Yeah.
like,
I'm sorry. Continue.
just if I was gonna say if they like your personality.
Yeah. Twitch.tv/the Pun Hit Wonder. I got a Discord, Twitch, Discord, Twitter, and Instagram. That's all through the main Twitch page. But Twitch is definitely the way to find me. So definitely recommend hanging out in there and then going through Discord, and that'd be more direct way to contact me.
Cool. The next question is where do you country or state where do you live and what is it like living there?
I live in Massachusetts. It's cold right now because it's in the beginning of January, and well, being in New England, there's a lot of snow and a lot of cold. Up here though, it's pretty nice. It's very fast paced. I enjoy the life up here because you're always moving. There's always something to do, and it's not too friendly. Like people are friendly around here, but if you're not recognizable, then people are kind of standoffish. But I mean, I'm a quiet dude myself, so I really don't mind too much. But come visit Massachusetts if anything. It's a fun experience.
Next question, quite a simple one, is how do you know me?
I met you through Junkrat's hideout and community.
Yeah. The next three are gonna be the harder, well, I say that harder, but
Yeah.
they're gonna be the more deep questions. Um, is there something about yourself that you would like to work on?
Yes, my confidence and my self-esteem. I don't really look too kindly at myself. I've always been very difficult and very hard on myself with anything that I've done, whether it's stream related, uh, body image related, or just overall life related. I need to be a bit easier on myself because I'm human and I'm not perfect. So it's something to like work on to be. It's okay to be human. It's okay to have imperfections. It's okay to have tough times, and for me to work on being more accepting of myself.
Nice. Um, that's really cool. Next question is what is your opinion of the snow?
I don't like snow. Um, is snow like an acronym, or are we talking like actual snow, like from the sky?
Actual snow.
Okay, I just want to make sure. I didn't know if there's like some weird, acronym or whatever for snow.
No.
I don't like snow. I've never been a fan of it. I deal with it. I don't do like outdoor sports like snowboarding or skiing. I mean, I work out. I'm outside for work, so I deal with it every day anyway. I put up with it. That's just how it goes. But
Yeah.
overall, snow is just not my best friend, and I don't want it to be my best friend. So.
Cool. The next question is what motivates you to stream?
I like creating a positive community and a positive atmosphere because for the longest time I was a very negative person, mainly towards myself, towards other people too, but it wasn't as much. I've always been very negative, especially internally, and streaming over the past couple of years has really helped me break out of that and see some good things about myself and meet some really amazing people that kind of understand kind of my thought process and how I've been really bad towards myself.
Yeah, that makes
So
sense.
streaming helps me. It helps me feel better. Like as soon as I hit the that start stream button, it just helps me kind of overcome that. Even if it's just for a couple hours, even if it's just for a couple minutes, it helps me kind of escape from myself to give myself a break from myself. If that makes any sense in the world.
Yeah. Yeah, it
Um,
does.
so like that's just kind of like so it helps me, but then I meet a lot of people along the way that just need an escape from the world too. And I try to provide that, whether it's through my jokes or through gameplay or whatever. Just like I want to provide for other people what I'm providing for myself.
Yeah, that makes sense. The last question I have for you is, what is something that someone told you that you'll kind of just like, or did for you, but just generally something that someone told or did for you that you'll kind of keep to your side for the rest of your life?
Is this positive or negative?
Positive.
Oof. I don't I guess the generic answer would be like everyone that's come around and hung out through streams, whether it's one stream or multiple streams. But like if I can get really in depth, like I don't really have anything that people come to me with positive. Like people tell me positive things, but I have a lot of I struggle a lot with dealing with like positive words and actions towards myself. So I can't really like uh I really can't answer that with certainty. Like I said, the generic answer would be everyone that's come to hang out, whether it's in Discord or liked or retweeted something or hang out in chat. But like when it comes to like real deep, like I don't have an answer for it just because that never sticks with me. All the negative stuff sticks with me, but everything positive just kind of in one ear out the other just doesn't really stick.
Yeah.
So I guess it's just anything help stream related wise would be the one thing to go. Which I guess Fel would probably be the best person for that, but
Yeah, that makes sense. Well, that was the last of the questions. I thank you so much for letting me
yeah, of
interview you
course.
for this.
Sorry it took so long.
Yeah, no, it's okay. I kept forgetting, and it was the whole process.
Yeah, but no, I mean, I'm glad to help, and hopefully, it helps your assignment. So
Yeah. So one more time before I end the recording, if you ever want to go talk to him, just go to twitch.tv/the pun hit wonder, and he's really truly an amazing guy.
it's all fun and games when you come and hang out with me.
All puns in game.